Hey, what's happening, everybody out there in the XRP community? Welcome back to Investment Perspectives. Okay, so I wanted to make another video today. I've gotten a lot of comments on the last few videos, and I appreciate every one of them. Thank you guys so much. But I wanted to talk about like a main theme that I've been finding where everybody hears all the good news that's coming out, and we all know the recent news that's been happening. And we're going to go over that soon here in a second. But the main theme is, you know, more good news, but the price don't move, right? So for today, the theme of the video that I want to do today is XRP. What's the holdup? Well, I think we know what the holdup is, but I think we can really point even more clearly to it. Because it doesn't escape any of us, I don't believe. So, all right, so let's get into this. I want to start today, and real quick, before we start, if you want to follow me or anything that we're talking about, you can follow me on Twitter at, it says The Average Joe Investor, but it's at Backup Bradley. It's BAKKUP Bradley, LEY, no spaces. So everything we're going to talk about, you'll be able to find there. Okay, so before we get started, I want to set this up. The RippleNet extended interview with Marcus Treacher, right? The Ripple drop. So I want to talk about that, and I only want the first few seconds of it, and I want to play, and I think it's like the first 18-20 seconds. So let's play that for now, just for now, and I think I've got the audio at a good volume. You guys are going to hear this just fine. So let's check this real quick here.
What are some key milestones that happened over the course of the year?
Yeah, 2018 was the year where RippleNet really came to life. So we built the network up to connect to 40 countries around the world. We went live with some of the largest banks and most creative payment companies. And
let's stop right there. They went live with some of the largest banks and creative payment companies. Wow. And again, this points to more good news, but the price don't move, right? Okay. So now let's go over to this next thing that I want to talk about here. This was on Roll Call. I follow a guy as a professor at, I believe, Georgetown University, I believe. Studies, he's a law professor, I believe. Now, I could have it wrong, but I know he's a professor over at Georgetown. His name is Chris Brummer. Really great stuff that he posts on Twitter. He's following from the commodity side, it appears, the regulations and everything. And I've enjoyed almost everything that I've seen come out. He's got some podcasts that he's doing with, I think it may be even a podcast specifically related to CFTC on the commodities trading and stuff. But at any rate, if you don't follow him, I would. His name's Chris Brummer, and he did this article with Roll Call, and it's called EU Reports on Crypto Asset Regulation Could Have Global Reverberations. So when we get down into this, and look, we all know we're waiting for regulation, but what I want you to see is let's go through this, and then let's tie it together here. So it says here in an analysis, 2 leading financial regulatory authorities are preparing to release pivotal reports on crypto asset regulation throughout the European Union, with recommendations that set the stage to create a separate, bespoke regime for crypto assets that are not currently subject to regulation in the bloc. Now, let's go to the next section here. The reports by the European Securities Markets Authority, otherwise known as the ESMA, and the European Banking Authority, the EBA, scheduled for publication this week, will get close scrutiny from the U.S. regulators and market participants, watching whether the EU approach will conflict with work underway at the Securities and Exchange Commission and the Commodities Future Trading Commission and the Treasury Department and Congress. So here you see it, right? Now, I know that you will have people in the U.S. markets tell you the Securities Exchange and the CFTC wait for no one when we make regulation. I get all that chest bumping stuff, but at the end of the day, you're seeing it right here. This is an article that is dealing with what is taking place and the actions that are going on right now. And it's the U.S. really, at the same time they're crafting their regs for what they want, are really looking to the EU to see where are they going and how far are they going to go one way or the other because of what they're actually crafting. So you can see all of this and I mean, you don't want to call it compliance, but there's certainly, it's almost like a dance, it seems like, right? This one's leading, now that one's leading, it's a thing. So let's go through this a little more, because this whole article is great. And again, it's on my Twitter, and if you don't follow Chris Brummer, I would. He has some really great stuff. So, and I'm not going to read the whole article. It is a longer article, but I just want to get into some of the stuff so you can really see what they're saying. So, and how it correlates between the European Union and the U.S. market. So, first indications are that the two financial blocs, the EU and the U.S., may not be on the same page. The EU reports make scant mention of purported benefits of the crypto assets and blockchain technology, seeing mostly risks for regulators, investors, and markets. U.S. regulators, by comparison, have been more open to the blockchain technology on which crypto assets rely. With cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin globally traded, the reports could have global reverberations. European Commission Vice President Valdis Dombrovskis requested the assessments of applicability and suitability of current EU law to crypto assets. But the report goes considerably farther than the request. They not only outline the bloc's regulatory challenges, but also suggest the steps to be taken to prevent the risks to investor protection and market integrity and market operations. So now, will the U.S. regulators and the lawmakers, market participants, and developers, because the EU has the potential to steer the development of this fledgling technology, companies and individuals may prefer the certainty of even poorly written EU rules with regional uniformity over U.S. rules scattered over a fragmented array of federal and state authorities. What a great point, right? That in turn could determine whether investment in crypto assets or commercial relationships in a supply chain follows a European model. So I'm going to hold it up right there because this is a really great article. I really do suggest everybody go check it out. But you see what's taking place, right? We have, the EU and the U.S. really coming at it how they see it, and everybody's still trying to get in a place where we can have, the consensus between, all sides to participate globally. For me, it just expresses the magnitude of what is taking place. However long any of us have been hodlers of XRP, when I read through this and I see what's going on here, you really start to get a much clearer look, I feel, at what the holdup is and what's really going on here. And we know that we still need to have bills reintroduced, in order to get the ball moving here domestically in the States. So when I hear the theme from a lot of people in the comments that say more good news, but the price don't move. A lot of people say, oh, well, they're never going to use XRP because, everybody else is making their own coin. They don't need XRP. They don't need this. They don't need that. Liquidity is a real problem, and it's a global problem. There have been many people, forget me saying it. I'm only saying it because I've heard people like JP Morgan and those kinds of people say it. They say it. And then when I see them saying it, look, it's what they do. So at the end of the day, when I hear people that are frustrated because there's more good news, and hey, we all know last year we had a lot less news and we went to $3.80 on a bull run on FOMO, right? And we still have nothing. You know what that means to me? We've been stuck at 30 some odd cents for this long. You know what it tells me? It tells me as a speculator, an investor who speculates in markets, and this is not financial advice, this is for educational purposes only. Everybody is to do their own research on their own and get your own financial advisor. So what it tells me is when I see a price being manipulated that much for that long, only the biggest players in the global economy could be participating in such a notion, to be able to facilitate something so massive and to be able to suppress it at the same time. That speaks to me as an investor and a speculator and tells me this investment is so special that they are willing to go to these lengths to hold this down until everything is where it needs to be and all things are in place, whether we're talking about legislation or whether we're talking about getting all of the, and we can't say framework at this point because Marcus Treacher's told us that was what 2018 was about. And we also saw yesterday, we talked about Brad Garlinghouse said they got over 200 financial customers and they are poised to flip the switch. That's his words, not mine. So when I think of this, I think, okay, well, we know we still have the regulation globally for everybody to get that compliance or overlapping agreement in whatever they're going to decide and how it's all going to work with all the different oversight entities that are out here. And then basically, whenever they decide, whether it's just through the regulation or legislation, or maybe it is even more coordinated and they're not situated with the amount of liquidity providers. We don't know really. But what I do know is, as a speculator, I've got the strongest signals I've ever had that tell me that this is one special coin. That's what I believe. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it right there. And I hope everybody enjoys, the video today. Don't forget, hit the like and subscribe. Please leave a comment. And you know what? If you don't mind, share it on your Twitter. If you dig this and you got other friends in crypto, share this. Let's get this video out and let's get a bigger conversation going on. Thank you so much, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.